Welcome back, YouTube fam. There's big news coming our way with the announcement of a Dark Elf with a slightly overwhelming love chasing me all the way from another world getting an anime adaptation. Now, the Japanese title for this, I will leave in the description because I don't want to disrespect the mangaka by butchering it whatsoever. I know I normally say the Japanese title first, but this time I want to be a little bit more respectful since it's kind of like a big deal. Any Twitter media outlet, Manga Magura, posted about this, and it's supposedly airing in 2025. Crazy thing is that this is my first time hearing and talking about this series, but for good reason. The mangaka Nakano Sora knows what sells because not only did they make a story about an elf, it's a busty brown elf. Take a look at these volume covers. Do these not give out Chotto Dake Ai energy? You can't tell me this dark elf couldn't be the daughter of Oga. If you see the vision, then it may be worth getting into by the end of this video. So, things start like a final battle with the hero and the party fighting the Demon King. The dark elf in the group is named Mary Bell, and she's a spellcaster, but also eye candy. You know dark elves are normally sorcerers and shit anyway, so that shouldn't surprise anybody. The party wins, and unlike other Isekai, the protagonist hero accomplishes his task and goes back to his world instead of sticking around. The story shifts from fantasy to reality as the hero named Hinata goes back to his normal life. He lives alone after his parents died and gets surprised when the milky brown elf shows up new. Now, this is some straight up witchcraft. But things are about to get good now. Things are about to get good because she showed up. So she's ready for action. Even puts on the virgin killer sweater, but Hinata's a shy guy, so you know how this is gonna go down. Shy guy, virgin killer, big busty elf. And it's not really mixing right now, but you know, it is what it is. When he asks why she's here, she tells him he's the reason she's there with no regrets. Like just straight up, it's because of you, Hinata. That's why I'm here. If you weren't here, I wouldn't be here. Plain as day. Belle does mention that the reason she was new is to lock in on him. That's the only way it was gonna like cross over and make it work. But a lot of ecchi works are like that. So it doesn't surprise me that, you know, they use this type of method, I should say, in this series. I have no problem with it whatsoever. The illustration after this moment though is insane because it just oozes Olga energy after Volt's corruption. Now, again, please don't sleep on Chotto Dake Ai. I beg you. That is just peak, especially the doujin. Definitely read the doujin. You will not be disappointed, I swear. Anyway, her affection started to overwhelm the guy, but he gets a break when her mana reaches his limit. Like, she used so much of her powers that she's just like, oh my God, overload, bam. Like, not unconscious, but just weak, I guess you could say. He turned into a whole house husband though, making food for a thank you. It, you know, to me, that just felt like it's a crime. Like, I'm gonna make you food and all you want is a thank you. Like, I would have been like, yo, take your titties out or something, because this can't be it. This is a crime to me. Like, someone call the cops, get this bitch out of here, because no, absolutely not. The only thing he liked about like their little time together, you know, eating, was like he thought about the fantasy world again. He was kind of like, man, this brings back sweet memories, and I wasn't alone, and yada yada yada. Of course he wasn't alone. He was with his party, but it was like 3 women and him. So I mean, he had his own little harem going. But this shit was corny. Like, that shit was corny to me. I was just like, yeah, it's typical tropey type deal, but that shit's corny. No one cares about that. I was more waiting on the which do you want first, and we were about to get into that right now. So Belle got the thirst traps for days, and I would have crumbled way before this point, like way before. The bath scene cliche doesn't miss since the mangaka cooked a whole chapter worth. Now you see how I didn't say which chapter we're on. Like, this is the whole chapter worth I'm about to get into, but at the same time we're on to like the next chapter. So you're like, damn, which one is this? You're gonna find out by the end of this video, I'm telling you. If she would have asked me, Belle, to get in with her, you better believe I'm in there like swimwear. What's crazy is that when it shows Hinata all weakened-ish, like right here, because he got all weak and stuff from, you know, Belle and all that, he looks like Bridget from Guilty Gear. Now, I don't know if Arc System Works had anything to do with this. I'm just kidding. Arc System Works had nothing to do with this whatsoever. But it did just have him sprawled out like a virgin that he is. And like, she just mounted this man. Made me think this is the time where I grab the loot, because you might have to rub something out at this point, because this shit looking good. Like, check out what she said here. Bro, what? Something hard is doing what? Instant fold. She is getting unprotected wall-to-wall, kitchen, back door, garage, basement, sweat drip down my balls type sex. But unlike me though, who would do that, he chickens out like a little bitch, and then he bangs his noggin because he tried to run away. So, you know, that's him. He does wake up to a lap pillow and pillow talk, so I'll give him points for that. I mean, that's all I really can give him points for. It is what it is though. Oh man, if you haven't figured out her behavior, she's horny with a touch of clingy, but this does have a wholesome side. She has that wholesome side, and that is pretty much my impression of the 2 chapters. Yes, this was 2 chapters worth summarized, and I hope you check out Nakano Sensei's work. Like, I'm like so serious. Based on this whole thing, it was a short video, but it's 2 chapters worth, and I summarized it for you. One thing I will say is that this reminds me so much of the wholesome Olga Dojin I read a while back. You can definitely find that on the internet somewhere, if some websites are still up. I know it's been kind of weird lately in the past week with websites being copyright striked and shit like that, so definitely want to check that out when you can. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below, and don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed today's video. Subscribe with notifications turned on, and grind it out, homies. XP out.